Hi, I'm Anna Young from Alaska. I just, sorry, but this one's going to be a little bit on the dark side. Everything isn't all that great up there. We've got a problem. It lies with our history, which is being lost. Just 3 months after Waco, the fishermen had to risk life, family, and boats because they had to save the coho, dogs, and pinks. Thus, for the first time since the Civil War, American waterways were closed again by an act of civil disobedience. The loss of their herring, reason enough. To save the hatcheries was the final quest. They had to stand up to the powers that be. Blockading Valdez Narrows ought to get their attention. Turn around a BP tanker and all the Coast Guard in Alaska worked. The fishermen had won, just a small victory, but this victory changed the status of fishermen from victims to heroes, thus pointing out who really had control of the sound. So they had to erase it from our history.
Okay, back to fishing. We've all had those crappy seasons that we push through because we love it. Well, mine was my second year running a boat, so this is the scene the last day. And my long-term competition with Chuck started at the beginning of my fishing career when I replaced Chuck as John's fishing partner. It was personal. I scoffed at the bullshit. His ex-wife fished with me. Our competition continued. One morning on Hallow Beach, I set my net too close to the Haxie. I kept the Invader's bow close to the beach. Kit was in the skiff on the offshore end of our net, and Annie was on the bow with a plunger, making sure fish didn't slip between the Invader's bow and the shore. Mary and I sat together on the bridge. I saw Chuck on his bridge. He pointed his rifle at us. A puff of smoke came from the rifle, a splash as the bullet hit the water near our bow. The shot echoed from the mountains. I froze in fear. Annie retreated from the bow and hunkered behind the bridge. Did he just shoot at us? Is he nuts? She asked. Chuck put his rifle down. I knew he was pissed about me fishing too close to him. I see. That's why they call the fucker Crazy Chuck, I said. Mary R. stood up and clenched her fist at him. I can't believe he would shoot at us, and with my kids on board. She shivered, sat, and held her head. I'm not going back on the bow, Annie said. Mary R. looked at me. You know what a good shot he is. If he had wanted to hit one of us, he would have. He wouldn't actually hurt us. I know. It's still scary. We hauled the net, and Kit came back aboard. She was furious. What kind of man would shoot at us? This is getting too weird for me. After the shot, we all retreated to places of isolation from each other. Kit back in the skiff, Annie to her bunk, me on the bridge, and Mary R. angrily sewed a hole in the net. I'm done with this season, I thought. I drove to the tender. I hated to back down to anyone, but the shot was the last straw in a crappy season.
Nervous all of a sudden. We went fishing out west from Dutch Harbor in the teeth of a hard winter gale. 5 strong men, no strangers to hard times. With a boatload of dreams we set sail. You know it's hard to keep your love's fire burning across the ocean so wide and so deep. I dream I'm home with my woman and the diesels pound on while we sleep. Some say fishing is a wave of the future. Some say fishing is a thing of the past, but my children keep growing, not really knowing their father or the dreams I have cast. Distant water is calling, I can't turn my back on the sea. Distant water is calling, I wonder if I'll ever be free. Now there's ice on the rails this morning, and I curse the day I ever set sail. We all hope and pray for safe fishing today. We will all pay the price if we fail. Now there are many a good friend that lies sleeping beneath these waves that roll on endlessly. And though our good friends are gone, their dreams live on in the hearts of us still here at sea. And some say fishing is a wave of the future. Some say fishing is a thing of the past. But my babies keep growing, not really knowing their father or the dreams that I've cast. Distant water is calling, I can't turn my back on the sea. Distant water is calling, I wonder if I'll ever be free. And some say fishing is a wave of the future. Some say fishing should be a thing of the past. But our babies keep growing, not really knowing their parents or the dreams we've all cast. Distant water is calling, I can't turn my back on the sea. Distant water is calling, I wonder if I'll ever be free. Lord, I wonder if I'll ever be free.
So great to see all these wonderful faces. I'm Holly Hughes. I'm feeling very nostalgic this weekend. I was here at the very first Fisher Poets, and I can't believe that it's been 21 years, and we've really just kind of grown up together, this family. So I'm reading an old poem. I achieved a certain notoriety, the first Fisher Poets, for writing the poem about letting salmon go. So being the one who had a hard time killing salmon. So what I realized later, this is what the poem is about. It's a response to PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. I realized that my allegiance is to the fishermen and the salmon. And there's so much division in our world these days. It's so heartening to me to hear all of these voices today. We've got a lot of work to do, and we've got to do it together. I no longer fish, but can still feel salmon's muscle firmness, sleek, cold arc through the yellow rubber of my gloves as I loose them from the net, lay them on deck, wanting to slip them back to the salty mouth of the sea, and did a time or two when no one saw. They feel pain, you say, as if that is news to the people who catch them, as if they didn't leap straight into our hearts, bearers of light from that immense world we won't enter until our last run. Haven't we wished to swim unfettered where the light filters down in gauzy curtains? Haven't we wanted to ride an ocean current home? This then, the price we pay for consciousness, for Adam taking that first unthinking bite. And the trade-off we make for taking their bodies, their pain and ours, whenever we set out to catch what we lost in the vastness, dreaming an ocean big enough for all of us to swim in. Thank you.
Hello, my name is John Branshaw. Live across the bridge up the beach a bit there in Westport, Washington. I'm a third generation crab fisherman. I fished for 42 years. I retired 2 years ago and got a real job. I work for Ocean Gold Seafoods now. And I think it's appropriate, I have a poem about Cannery life, to say this poem this morning here in this historic building that, you know, if the walls could talk, think of the stories. Anyway, this is called Day 87 of the Hake Odyssey. It's shift change at Ocean Gold. The night crew shuffles down the stairs. They walk like zombies, the morning sun shining in their eyes. In 12 hours, it will start again. Some will go home to sleep. Some will go home to care for children while their spouse takes their place in the line. Some will go home just to get high to dull the pain of the last 12 hours. It's day 87 of the Hake Odyssey. The plant has not shut down. We are 50 million pounds into a 78 million pound season. I approach Big Red. That's my truck. Puddles of hake goo glisten in the morning sun on its back deck. A quick walk around, oil check, and I'm ready to haul fish. Julio slams totes onto the bed of my truck. He shouts orders in Spanish to others. He is not a morning person. Today I will haul 300,000 pounds of hake to the cold storage to be processed. 10 totes at a time, 1,500 pounds in each tote, 20 trips on the average day. Pablo unloads me at the cold storage. His hands are crippled from childhood arthritis. He stands 4'6". He is always in a good mood. He calls me Yanni. I reach a rhythm of hauling the fish over and empty totes back. The day wears on. I walk onto the dock during a lull. Rick, who we call Shrek because of his small ears and bulging eyes, is not there. He has been missing for 5 days. He was seen leaving the harbor in a skiff to go sport fishing. The Coast Guard concluded a search. He's declared missing and presumed drowned. It's day 87. Nobody cares, nobody blinks. The sea clipper pulls away from the pump and the Jamie Marie slides under. We start again. My shift is nearly over. It's day 87. Just another day of the Hake Odyssey. Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming. I tell you this every year. This is the highlight of my winter, and it's only 364 more days, and we'll be back. God bless you all.